I'm not gonna lie, this game is probably the least creative game I've played in a while, but since it's an EA competitor, I have no choice but to give it a fair chance. Unfortunately, the developers themselves seem to spawn camp their own creation harder than your average Call of Duty match, making it so hard that no matter how hard I try, there's no avoiding comparisons to Apex. It's got the same healing animations, same melee animations, shield system, shield leveling system, holstering mechanic, heads up display, marking for good loot, ping system, attachment system, zipline system. Heck, while writing this review they added a respawn mode copying wildcard. But even though they copy more crap than I did in high school, some people are going a bit overboard with comparing though. Like if you're mad about the fact that you enter the map in this way, then you're probably also mad about Call of Duty and Battlefield both using weapons. Farlight 84 reminds me a bit of a combination between Fragpunk and Valorant when it comes to their style. Not necessarily a bad thing, but it doesn't help with creating an identity for this game. Heck, I'm still trying to figure out why it's called Farlight 84 in the first place. I like it when games pick a distinct art style, but why keep on copying more stuff from other games? We'll get to that. I think this sort of anime kind of art style works well for battle royales as they're a bit easier to render over distance, and it doesn't look as bad when you turn the settings down, so even your potato PC can run this game. In fact, even your phone can run this game. And later in this review you'll find out what kind of issues that causes. But from what I've seen, you're either gonna like this style or absolutely hate it. But Dusk, tell me about gameplay. How does the game play? The game runs well and the gunplay is good. The matches are pretty easy right now, making the abilities feel kind of pointless, but in higher difficulty matches these might make more of an impact. Apparently there are 2 maps for the Battle Royale mode, but they look so much alike that I would have sworn that there's only one. Other than that, it just plays like Apex Legends without movement, so if that sounds good to you, this should be right up your alley. The only thing that sets this game apart from other Battle Royales right now are the Pokemons? Or lights? The characters are called light catchers, so I just assumed that these were called lights. Turns out they're called buddies. These are essentially Pokemon scattered around the map waiting to be caught and can then be deployed like gadgets or abilities. And because they remind me so much of Pokemon, it's just not enough to set the game apart from others. But it could be a mechanic they expand upon, and yet somehow I kinda doubt that they will. Because as of now they don't make any impact, and if they were to expand upon it, they might get into legal trouble. Now let's talk about something this game does do right. The audio. It's good. Take a listen. Pretty good, huh? Except for the fact that it's copied. Did you really think that they're copying other game shenanigans stopped here? Nuh-uh. The gun sounds were fine, but some sounds were very familiar. A bit too familiar. Nice try, bro. But I guess that didn't come as a surprise. I will at least praise them for making footsteps loud enough, cause holy moly, they don't do that enough in other shooter games.
Enemies there. Looks like there's hope for a new collection.
Airdrop arrived.
The waifus. I mean, the characters. These were obviously created for your typical degenerate, I don't touch enough grass kind of audience. How do I know? Well, let's just say they put more effort into physics and other assets than they did in creating something original. Some characters appear so young that they could be sent straight back to kindergarten.
Do you, mind if I join you?
It seriously makes me uncomfortable. But I guess they know their audience and like to sell a lot of skins. Other than that, they made a fat duck, which I think looks kinda out of place compared to the rest of the characters, but at least the majority of the characters are alright. Except some seem like straight up copies from other games, which is probably why they're working nearly half the roster. So depending on the reworks, These could turn out great or even worse than Fat Duck and Kiddo. Farlight 84 comes with a third-person perspective. You can swap this at any time in the main menu, except not all modes support this. Personally, I'm not a fan of third-person perspective in competitive games as it promotes camping more than big city sidewalks. Because who would want to play a competitive game where you can look around corners and see enemies when they have no clue you even exist? But I suppose it's a clever tactic to keep the waifu fanatics playing. If you're one of those who likes third person though, you're out of luck, as this mode appears to be way less popular. It took me 5 times as long to find a match for third person as it did for first person. Luckily, you unlock even more modes at level 6. These are Ranked mode, Team Deathmatch, Respawn mode and Jetpack mode. I was actually surprised to find that the Team Deathmatch mode wasn't complete garbage, but all of these modes that you unlock at level 6 suffer from the same problem: lack of players.
Our greatest pride is delivering experiences that exceed expectations.
Matchmaking takes at least 3 minutes. The Respawn mode was a straight up copy from Wildcard in Apex, the Jetpack mode is a regular battle royale but with more mobility like 2 roll dodges, and the Team Deathmatch is exactly what you would expect and is the only mode with a smaller map. I also noticed frame drops in the Team Deathmatch, which I assume was caused by the sheer amount of players in such a small area, but performance is the least of this game's issue. Most of the matches in all of these modes were so easy that I can only assume that they were filled with bots or mobile phone players with worse aim than a drunk at your local bar. Take a look at my Team Deathmatch track record. The first match I was messing around with settings mid-game, and after that you can see the kill-death ratio fly through the roof. Ranked was the only mode where you would actually notice that you weren't playing against handicapped bots, but I still suspect that it throws mobile players in there. This in combination with the low player count makes this game so easy on PC that you constantly run into players with titles saying things like number 30 best player in Germany, number 60 best player in France, and it's honestly embarrassing as there are so few players that anyone could get these titles easily. Let me show you. I only played this game to get this review out, and apparently I am number 75 Nightwatch in the Netherlands after playing for like what, 20 matches? And these titles are just some of the things that you can unlock, as there's plenty of other things in the store. Stuff like titles, weapon skins, character skins, avatars, poses, emotes, backgrounds, event items, trails, death boxes, blueprints, lottery tickets aka loot boxes, stickers, trackers, voice lines, jetpacks, avatar frames, gun accessories, pods. Sure, you can unlock some of this by just playing the game, but the fact that this game has more things to buy than almost any other battle royale game out there while copying nearly all of its mechanics should give you an idea of where its focus lies. The progression is basically your generic free-to-play battle royale kind of stuff. You unlock the characters by simply playing the game, grind through a battle pass to get your typical free garbage, and in the meantime, they try to get you to buy all of their extra crap. Yeah, it's not great. And somehow, this is not its biggest problem. Its biggest problem is still the player count. I don't have any hope that they're actually going to fix this game's issues at all, but let's just go ahead and pretend that all of a sudden the developers grow ears and start listening to the feedback they received. This will be first on the list. Number 1. Embrace your own identity. This game has got a bigger identity crisis than your average Karen. Change things enough to get rid of the Apex Legends clone accusations, as most people will just be like, ah, an Apex clone. Not interested. Now apparently this game used to be unique, as the jetpack mode that I mentioned before was the normal mode, but they changed it after a big update which they called the relaunch. Apparently this update is what made this game more like Apex Legends than ever before and less like its own thing, hence why nobody has faith in these developers anymore.
Every update is crafted with 120% passion and dedication from the entire dev team, aiming to bring better, fresh experiences. This
happened in August 2025, which is why a lot of people are only discovering this game now. I can't help but wonder, is this the new game company money-making meta? Simply copying another game so you don't have to come up with your own ideas, and in the meantime just sell your cosmetics as you copy every step that the other game takes? I don't know, man. I do have to say that the game has potential though, and I could see a certain casual audience really like this game, but unfortunately these people are immediately going to be intimidated upon launching the game, as navigating these ridiculous amount of menus is more confusing than navigating a maze inside of a maze.
Oh my god, there's so many menus. You can't find shit, and it doesn't even tell you when you have stuff, like...
Well, there's this tiny exclamation mark.
Yeah, but for me it's so crazy that they hide so many menus in this little button when your eye kinda wants to go up here and look for stuff. But then you have to click there,
Let's see.
and then here, and then you have like a billion tabs. I'm getting a headache.
Now, even after pointing out more flaws in this game than in Monster Hunter Wilds, it does do some things right. First up, auto loot. All loot goblins will love this one. Auto loot makes it so that you automatically pick up weapons if you don't have any. It'll also pick up attachments for the guns you are using, and it'll fill up ammo, health and shields to the maximum amount that your inventory can carry. You'll spend more time shooting and less time looting. The game also has a setting where you can pre-select which scopes you want per weapon type, in fact even per weapon. And this is a pretty neat feature. Unironically, the next thing that sets this game apart is its pace. It's nice and chill due to the lack of fast-paced movement. And I suppose some people will actually rather enjoy this, because almost every other shooter out there is so sweaty it requires a degree in finger gymnastics to be competitive. Now I can hear you wondering, if they've copied so much stuff, do you think that EA is going to sue them? Well, I don't think so. If this game's player base doesn't grow, it's not worth the headache as it'll probably just bleed dry over time. Is it worth your time though? Well, only if you don't mind the lack of a challenge, the slower pace, and don't mind that you might lose all of your progress, because I don't think this game is gonna last very long. So the answer is maybe, but for the majority of players the answer is probably no. It could be a hidden gem for those who like battle royales but struggle keeping up with the fast-paced ones out there. If you struggle with any game for that matter and would like to support me, consider joining my Discord server where you can get help from other people in-game. And with that said, like, subscribe, all that stuff. Thanks for watching.
We hope this version will feel like a solid 8 out of 10 to you.